Jack Torrance, a struggling writer and recovering alcoholic, takes a job as the winter caretaker for the Overlook Hotel, a grand but isolated resort high in the Colorado Rockies. Hoping for a fresh start, Jack brings along his wife, Wendy, and his young son, Danny. For Jack, the job seems perfect, a chance to work on his novel while maintaining the empty hotel during the snowy off-season. Danny, a bright and perceptive boy, has a unique gift known as the Shining. This psychic ability allows him to see glimpses of the past and future, as well as communicate telepathically. Danny soon senses the dark energy that lingers in the Overlook, and the hotel begins to reveal its sinister secrets through horrifying visions. As the family settles in, the hotel is cut off from the outside world by a heavy snowstorm. Jack begins to explore the Overlook's eerie history and becomes increasingly obsessed with the hotel's past. He discovers that a previous caretaker, Delbert Grady, had gone insane during a similar winter stay and killed his wife and 2 daughters before taking his own life. Meanwhile, Danny's visions intensify. He sees blood pouring out of the elevator, a mysterious room 237, and ghostly figures from the hotel's dark past. He also begins communicating telepathically with Dick Halloran, the Overlook's chef, who also has the Shining. Before leaving the hotel for the season, Halloran warns Danny to stay away from room 237, as it holds a terrible presence. As weeks pass, the Overlook begins to influence Jack. The hotel preys on his weaknesses, his frustration over his failed writing career, his guilt over past mistakes, and his growing resentment toward Wendy and Danny. Jack becomes increasingly erratic and angry, losing himself to the hotel's power. One day, Jack discovers a mysterious scrapbook filled with clippings about the Overlook's violent and scandalous history. Fueled by the hotel's malevolent influence, he decides to write a book about the hotel, convinced it will make him famous. Meanwhile, Danny's curiosity leads him to room 237. Inside, he encounters a terrifying ghost, a decaying woman who tries to strangle him. Danny escapes but is left deeply traumatized, with bruises around his neck. When Wendy sees the bruises, she accuses Jack of hurting Danny, further straining their relationship. Jack's behavior grows more erratic. He begins seeing visions of the hotel's past guests and staff, including a ghostly bartender named Lloyd and Delbert Grady himself. Grady manipulates Jack, convincing him that his family is holding him back and that he must correct them. The Overlook's power over Jack becomes absolute. He smashes the hotel's radio, cutting off their communication with the outside world, and sabotages the snowmobile, their only means of escape. Jack is now fully under the hotel's control, driven by its demand for violence. Wendy realizes the danger they are in and becomes determined to protect Danny. Jack, now completely unhinged, attacks Wendy with a mallet, but she manages to lock him in the pantry. However, the Overlook's ghosts free Jack, urging him to finish the job. Danny, meanwhile, uses his Shining to call out to Dick Halloran for help. Halloran, hundreds of miles away, senses Danny's distress and rushes back to the hotel through the treacherous snowstorm. As Jack hunts Wendy and Danny through the Overlook, the hotel's true evil manifests. The building comes alive, with the hallways twisting and filling with echoes of past horrors. Jack corners Danny in the hedge maze outside, but Danny cleverly outwits him by retracing his steps in the snow, leaving Jack lost and freezing. Halloran arrives at the hotel, helping Wendy and Danny escape. Meanwhile, the hotel's boiler, neglected during Jack's descent into madness, overheats and explodes, destroying the Overlook in a fiery inferno. Jack perishes with the hotel, consumed by its malevolent energy. In the aftermath, Wendy and Danny move to Florida, where they try to rebuild their lives. Danny continues to struggle with his psychic abilities, but finds solace in the memory of his father's love before the hotel corrupted him. Dick Halloran becomes a mentor to Danny, helping him understand and manage his gift. The Overlook is gone, but its shadow lingers in the nightmares of those who survived.